Shipping along the East Coast could be disrupted for months to come. This comes after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. For a look ahead at the impact on the supply chain and U.S. infrastructure, we want to bring in Kathryn Thompson. She is the CEO and founding partner of Thompson Research Group, which tracks the industrial and construction sectors. And Kathryn, tell us a little bit about what we can anticipate.
Yeah, I think that if you step back and just set the stage, ports all along the East Coast have seen unprecedented flow of goods. And it's not just from post-pandemic. In 2016, the Panama Canal expansion was opened up, and you saw an explosion of shipments that were diverted from the West Coast to the East Coast. So that was a stress. And then you had kind of the post-COVID push with all the supply chain issues, and ensuing came from that. So just as they were getting their footing, you had this happen again. You have another issue such as a drought in the Panama Canal, which is holding up goods, conflicts in the Red Sea. But Becky, the silver lining is there actually is very good funding for infrastructure. And we do expect to see those dollars put to work very quickly.
Kathryn, the industries that are most likely to be affected, we've heard at least, would be things like automobiles. I think something like 750,000 automobiles go through, and not all of the other East Coast ports are set up to take automobiles. Things like farm equipment. What do you anticipate in those particular areas?
Well, they're scrambling. So the first thing, you're right. The Baltimore port is the #1 port for autos. From what we've been told is the Port of Brunswick will be a key area to divert some of those autos. But there are, other goods, coal, gypsum, a lot of goods that come in and out of the heartland of America. And those will go to closer ports in New Jersey, Virginia, all along the East Coast.
You've said that those ports are more congested, but I've also heard reports that many of them are only around 70, 75%, maybe even 80%. That does suggest there would be room for additional categories.
The baton has been shifted. So, yeah, you're right. You're going to have a little bit more flow. It'll be a little bit easier. But the key thing is, are the ports able to accept the post-Panamax ship? And these are ships carried 2.5 times the amount of goods that used to. So not every port can do that. Not every port is even equipped on the East Coast to accept those. So the key thing is, are the ports even able to accept these big ships?
Okay.
But
go ahead.
Yeah, no, what I would say just as far as infrastructure funding, just to put this into perspective, another way to frame it is looking at construction put in place. You've seen over a 50% increase over the past several years just from funding, 14% increase by the end of 2023. Leading the charge is infrastructure, highways and roads up 25+%, water infrastructure up double digits. You'll see a lot of dollars being put to work quickly. The president yesterday said there was going to be funding push with Congress, but just know that on a state and local level, there's a sumptuous amount of funding, and they're ready to get things going.
One of the things that really shocked me yesterday was the vulnerability of this bridge and questions that raises about vulnerabilities in other infrastructure, key places, whether that be ports, whether that be railways, whatever it may be along the line, the bridges. I think this does cause some reflection when it comes to that. Yeah, no,
it is. And, it wasn't a structural issue with the bridge. It was an issue with the boat. And this is exactly the type of infrastructure issue that is becoming a greater highlight. In your previous segment, you're talking about tech. Well, when people think about infrastructure, they so often think of bridge and roads, but you've got a whole host of tech infrastructure that is in the early stages, we would argue, in terms of build out. And so, it's great that we have funding set up to build the actual structure and the network, but there's definitely going to have to be addressed safety concerns to mitigate the effect of these disruptions like this.
Right. I mean, it didn't seem like this bridge had the sort of dolphins, which are the barriers that go around, whether they be rock, sand, cement, or anything that I've seen on some other bridges to offer that type of protection.
Yeah, and also just structurally, it's the third largest expansion bridge in the world. So just even the length of it and the type and size created some amount of vulnerability. So what may have worked in the past, I think, Becky, may not work in today's marketing going forward.
Kathryn, because this is a business network, I'll ask, are there companies or stocks that you think will benefit from all this infrastructure build?
Yeah, there's a couple of names I'll be off the beaten path. One of them that you pointed out is inspection. So there's a company called API Group. The ticker symbol is APG. They do a lot of infrastructure and commercial building inspection. So that's going to be key. Practically speaking, there's going to be a lot of construction in and around. And so you're going to need heavy equipment very quickly to get things going. So the equipment rental companies, United Rentals, and then also WillScot Mobile Mini. You see those box containers that you have in and around construction site, the first in, first out. You'll have plenty of those. And then finally, with any amount of construction, you just need a lot of heavy materials. And along that line, in areas that have a presence in that coast, Vulcan Materials, ticker symbol VMC, you'll have CRH, which just switched exchange to the NYSE from the LSE. And then finally, Martin Marietta Materials, ticker symbol MLM.